Hi, welcome to Chez Lez Fleur podcast. If you're joining us for the first time, we welcome you. And if you're a returning visitor, we're happy to have you back. And today I have with me Nancy Wiskel from Joyce Clothing in Peterborough. And she has a lovely, lovely clothing store and has just opened a branch in Apsley that she's going to talk to us about as well. But I'm thrilled to have you with us, Nancy, and thank you for taking the time to be here.
Well, thank you, Janet. Really great to see you again, and thank you so much for having me.
Well, glad to. I've got some questions for you. Are you ready?
Okay, I think I'm set.
Good. Okay, so you have moved back to Peterborough
Yes.
and you worked in a corporate setting. So why Peterborough? Why now? And tell us more.
Well, I lived in Peterborough about 25 years ago, and at that time, really fell in love with the city. I formed a really great group of friends. My parents live here, but unfortunately, just in terms of career-wise, and especially that corporate career, there really wasn't a lot at that time for me here. So I had to leave Peterborough in order to find the type of work that I was looking for, and that really kind of launched the start of my corporate endeavors. And really loved my corporate life, but it was still always something at the back of my mind that I wanted to come back to Peterborough, enjoy what Peterborough had to have, and also then stay connected with my friends and with my parents. So that's kind of how I came back here. And then why now? Joyce Clothing was, or at the time it was Joyce's Classic Clothing, was a store I always loved. My mother shopped here. And again, it was just something in the back of my mind. I would love to own this store one day. And then, just much to my surprise, it became available as the owners were looking to retire, and I was able to step in and take over ownership.
Oh, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. And it's like that visioning thing.
Yeah, it is. And it was interesting. I was talking to a friend I hadn't seen in quite some time just a few days ago. And she was in the store and she's like, wow, Nancy, you're living your dream. How does that feel? So it was, it's something that obviously all of my friends are know and aware about me, just my love of fashion and just connecting with people. So yeah, I am living my dream.
Awesome. So corporate world is very different from small business retail.
Yes, yes, it is.
However, I'm sure you brought some skills that you learned in the corporate world with you. Could you share some of those things that you've learned with big business that you've been able to incorporate into your small business retail?
Right. So I would say one of the main things is one, just with my experience and being able to work with so many really bright people. It gave me a lot of background, but also just the confidence to be able to take this on. So not that confidence is a skill, but I think my corporate life really did help with the confidence and enabled me to want to take on this challenge. But in terms of more sort of skills and practical things, one of the things that large corporations are really good at is putting in processes and really sticking to the processes and making sure, especially as you're growing, that you've got a really firm foundation and everybody's on the same page and everybody knows what they need to do. So I think it's understanding my processes and incorporating processes into a business, which is really important. And it's something that I encourage everybody to be aware of. Even if you're a one-man operation working out of your basement, it's still important to have process, because as you grow, then your growth becomes more manageable. It's easier, and then you're also making sure that you're maintaining the type of standards that you want to keep as you grow, as your business grows. So I'd say processes is a big one. And the second big one is really understanding the importance of branding, especially the last company I worked for. It was a consumer-facing business that I worked for, and brand was very important. So it's understanding how brand touches everything you do. It's not just your logo and the colors and the font that you choose to use in your logo. It's everything. It's the appearance. So for me, it's the appearance of my store. It's the feeling that people come when they have their store, the experience in the store. All of that ties into your brand. And it's one of those ideas that you always need to come back to your brand. So again, if you're looking to expand or you're looking to bring in new product lines, you always go back to, does this tie into my brand? Is it saying what I want to say? Because it's so easy, especially entrepreneurs, right? Like our minds are always creative and we're always looking at the new things and the new shiny object that grabs our attention. So it's really important to stay grounded in your brand. So those are the big ones.
And that's so true, because even, and technology right now is a perfect example of new and shiny, grabbing onto this new program, grabbing onto this new app, grabbing onto this new whatever, and to be able to stop and step back and say, okay, does this fit what we actually do? Or am I just gravitating, like you said, because it's shiny?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Branding is just so important. And it's really something that touches you every day.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're hearing a lot in the news about fast fashion and the environmental impact. Can you talk to us about, your store and your, how you combat that with, well, I'll let you talk, but you're definitely not fast fashion.
Yes, no, we aren't. And when you bring up like fast fashion and its environmental impact, I mean, there are so many different areas you could talk about. It's their excessive resource consumption, it's their worker exploitation, it's water pollution. But I think if you bring it down to something that we experience and on a day in, day out basis, clothes that are made for fast fashion are made to have a short-term lifespan. So when you've got clothes that aren't built to last, what happens is you have overconsumption, and then of course you have a lot of waste, you have a lot of things going into landfill. But when you start talking about quality of clothes, now suddenly your conversation changes from talking about waste to talking about durability, because quality clothes are made to last, both in their construction and their material. So they're not something that you're going to be going through and changing every year or a couple of times a year. These are clothes that are built to last. And on top of it all, good quality clothing just feels amazing on, and it fits really well as well. So you're going to be far happier in the long run with maybe 1 or 2 quality pieces than 10 fast fashion pieces.
Well, and the look of quality clothing.
Yes.
You can see it coming a mile away.
Oh, exactly. And it's tailored so beautifully. And even when I'm saying tailoring, I'm not necessarily meaning that it's close to your body. Just the construction is so good. And I had a really cute experience with one of my sales associates, just a summer student that obviously was just working for a few months. She was a university student. And one of the things that we encourage our sales associates to do when it's quiet is to try on the clothes, understand how it fits so that we can make better recommendations to our customers. So of course she was doing this all summer and, just working with the clothes. And at the end of the summer, she's like, Nancy, I can't go back to my other clothes. These ones just feel too good and they look too good on. So that was heartwarming for me.
Well, and it's so true, it really is. And
right. Well, yeah. Once you can realize and try on quality clothing, you get a much better appreciation for what exactly it is.
Yeah, absolutely. You've recently opened a second store, a satellite store in Apsley, and
Yes.
Apsley's a great little community, and so many good things happen there. Tell us about, why you decided on Apsley, how the Apsley store is. Tell us more.
Well, I was really looking to expand and to grow my business, and I really wanted to attract some of the cottage country because, of course, being so close to the Kawartha Lakes or being in the Kawartha Lakes cottage country, I knew that there was an expanding market in this area, particularly during COVID. So many people were moving to their cottages and working from their cottages, and now there's so much more work from home. I just felt it was a really growing market for us. So at the Peterborough store, we tend more to have our timeless pieces that are really suited for kind of professions and elevated retiree looks. But I felt that there was a market that we could take that quality, but actually turn it for people that are just looking for casual weekend casual cottage wear. And I knew that Apsley was a growing area. So that's why I chose that particular town, and also it's an easy drive from Peterborough.
Yeah, it is. It's
Mhm.
not far, and it's a great little community, and hopefully they have the grocery store back in
Oh,
place.
fingers
Yes,
crossed.
I know that was so hard. It's been so
Hmm.
hard not having
Yes.
that business there, and we feel for the family that,
Oh,
it's just.
definitely.
So, Nancy, on top of your
Yes.
busy business and your satellite store in Apsley, you also have time for some volunteer work. And I understand that you're involved with the Rotary Club of Peterborough Kawartha. And I know that Rotary is involved with huge projects worldwide, small projects in small communities. And I know that your club does a lot around our town. Do you have a favorite, like a little close to your heart thing that you do with Rotary that you just love the most?
Well, I've been a Rotary, a member of the Peterborough Kawartha Rotary, I think for 2 years. I might actually even be coming up onto my third year anniversary, and it's gone pretty quickly. And I have to say, this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but the volunteerism that I've enjoyed the most is actually our spring cleanup. So even though you're kind of picking up garbage on the side of the street, it's one of those volunteer things that you do that you actually physically see the difference. So you kind of attack an area that might look kind of decrepit, but then once you've picked up all of the garbage, it just looks so clean and good. So while we do so many great things, and like you said, from very small to very large, I actually enjoy picking up garbage the most.
Well, and you're right. At the end of the time you've done it, you can see the difference.
Hmm. Exactly. And it
Yeah.
and again, in a weird sort of way, you kind of get to see a little snippet of people's lives. Like we see so many coffee cups on the side of the road, and wrappers, and it's like, okay, so this is pretty much how people are spending their time in this area, well, drinking coffee and then throwing out the cups. But anyhow, it's interesting.
It really is. It is. And I can see why you would be that would be satisfying because it is.
Hmm.
You're making a difference and you can see it right away.
Yes.
Well, I really appreciate you being on our show. What we like to do is we like to end with 5 questions that you have to answer in about 10 seconds. So if
Oh,
you're up
okay.
for that, I've got a few questions for you.
Okay. I think I'm ready.
Okay, good, good. Okay, number one, Bradley or Leonardo?
Oh, Bradley.
Pumps or slingbacks?
Pumps.
Brie or cheddar?
Oh, cheddar.
Comedy or science fiction?
Comedy.
Mac or PC?
Oh, that's tough. I
It
have a
is
PC,
tough.
but my heart goes with Mac. So I'm going to
Okay.
go Mac.
Okay, great. Nancy, thank you so much for being with us today. I think everybody loves fashion on some level, and
Hmm.
whether it's casual fashion or elegant fashion, and you certainly have lots of choices and you're great at helping people find the right look. And I really appreciate, I know you're busy and I appreciate you taking the time to be with us. And if you are joining us for the first time, we're welcoming you to Chez Lez Fleur. If you're returning guests, we'll thank you again for coming to see us. Nancy's at Dan Joyce's, and thanks again for being with us.
Thank you so much, Janet. Anytime. Love to chat.
Okay, great. Thanks. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.